All right, I'm live. Welcome, everybody, or welcome anyone to the playback. If you're watching this some other time, Bruce Rodriguez, as always. What is that? 9 o'clock on what is today? Thursday. Running a little bit late here. I was trying to queue something up, trying to find some goofy comments on my channel. Just in case there isn't too much to talk about, but I'm trying to fix this. I got something here blocking the light coming over my shoulder right there. Maybe that's like Jesus coming over my shoulder. Yeah, just an open yakking about bees. Might not be very long because I'm kind of tired. I'm not usually up this late. But I'll put the invite up in the comments if anybody wants to come in. If I know who you are. Yeah, just click on it, come in. If nothing really happens, I'll probably just might just look at a couple comments I want to reply to that were really, really stupid. And if that gets boring, then I'll just shut this one down. But yeah, come on in. Let me see if I can find this comment while I'm here. There's a couple lives going on that I wanted to watch. I didn't even know they were going on until I already set my thing up. Hey, 18Bs, how you doing? Oh yeah, so like our weather took a really bad turn again. We ended up getting, I don't even know, probably a foot of snow. And it was in the teens again last night with all that snow, so it's really nice and crispy and disgusting out here. Hey there, Kathy O'Rourke, Chris Faluski. Hello from Pennsylvania. Hey, I'm from Pennsylvania too, so what's up, neighbor? Man, I cannot find these goofy comments. I'm looking right now. Hold on. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at. Hey Ronnie, how you doing? We're just, decided to go live and shoot the breeze. Look, I didn't even get all good looking or anything for this. All got my salt and pepper poking out everywhere. I see Ronnie's already setting swarm traps down there. Son of a gun. All right, how do I do this? I'm always slow as hell at this. There's that. Share it. Bloop. Let's see what it looks like. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Anybody want to come in? No pressure. No pressure at all. I'm just gonna keep looking for this stupid comment. What was that goofball's name? Yeah, now I can't find. What video was it? It was. Oh crap! What was it? Hold on. It's gonna make me look on my phone. That's just so annoying. Let's see. Yeah, I can't remember now. It's published, and unless they deleted it. Unless they deleted the comment, which isn't really going to work because I did take a screenshot. I just thought it'd be easier to pull it up. They really gave me a talking to. You know I like that. No, it wasn't Dozin. That is a good guess though. It wasn't Dozin. It was another goofball. Let me see. Does that make it a little bit smaller? All right. Hey, there's the bird lady in the house. What's up? She was getting her hives ready. Bought a bunch of used equipment for her soon-to-be bees she'll be getting. And then as she's scraping it out, bees started showing up. You better get them things ready. Them bees might be moving right in. They might be moving in while you're sitting there scraping frames. Yeah, because you guys are all down south except for me and Kathy O'Rourke, Chris Falusi, and 18 bees. We're all up north. So we're freezing, but you guys are going to have swarms really soon. The only thing is, I didn't. Yeah, so Bird Lady Speaks went live and was showing the frames. One thing you can do, if you watch Rodney Middleton's channel right here, this guy, this crazy guy here, if you look at his channel too, the lady at the home I placed a swarm trap yesterday said there's scouts. Yeah, see. What we do is we use frames, we use like a couple old combs and then use some frames without foundation, just with like a starter strip. And sometimes like the plastic part, so Bird Lady, I can't remember her normal name, but, or if she even says it. Anyway, mine's Bruce, in case you didn't hear that. But those plastic frame, the foundation part, you can just pop them right out and cut them into like 4s. And then just staple one of those strips into the top of the frame, or just nail it in. That's what I like to do. And then you don't even need to add wax or anything. The bees will just build right off of it. And those really help with swarm trapping. And your frames already have all the scent and everything on it. The boxes, they already have all the flavors and scents on them. So you probably don't even have to worry about like an old comb. Old combs, Yep. So, yeah. So he does that. Yeah, we do that. We have a lot of good success doing it that way. Yeah, that saves you a bunch of steps. I mean, as long as you're unlike me and you're good with table saws and stuff, just for cutting those plastic, the yellow foundations, cutting them into strips without cutting your whole arm off, like I would probably do. Just get those cut, and then you just tack them in. Boop. Then you won't really need to worry about getting pounds of wax, painting all the frames. Painting both sides. I do have a video of it. I think I'm not sure exactly what the title is, but maybe if you at some point, or anybody watching, wanted to look up like how I put together frames, Swarmstead bees, it'll probably come up. I think it's just a video of me in the barn just kind of tapping them together and putting the little strip in there. Okay, yeah, so then Rodney also, he leaves a void underneath. So he's using the taller swarm traps, like that only hold 5 or 6 frames, but they're taller. So there's a big gap underneath. And those work good too, but from what you can use what you already have, which is just regular boxes. You just make sure it's strapped together really nice and tight, and kind of hang it on a tree, not too high. What the heck is that? Or you can just put it like, there's so many ways you can do it. The key is to put out as many as you can, And then the other cool thing, is you can just pretty much catch bees in anything. You don't have, since you have 3 hive setups that I noticed, you don't have to limit yourself to 3 swarm traps. You can make 3 or 4 out of buckets, a couple out of just some old boxes, some old cardboard boxes, trash can with a hole in it. You can make all kinds of just anything to catch the bees. And then, worry about getting them out of there after you catch them. But, okay, so this isn't going to work. I'm going to get rid of this. Hold on. Let me stop sharing this. Where the hell? Okay. So Ronnie custom makes his. You know what? There's an. Oh wait, you guys are too far away. But down there's this Amish company not too far from here. They make some really nice sturdy swarm traps. Like they're really sturdy and they're perfect and they're like heavy and just nice for $35. They're made out of wood, solid wood too. They would man, if you were up here, I feel like I should buy like 100 of them and just sell them online. I could easily get like $80 each for them, but then the shipping. They're just built so well. And they're worth every penny of that, too. I don't know why they sell them so cheap. I'm not going to complain about it. Bird Lady Speaks ordered the Complete Idiot's Guide to Beekeeping. Yeah. That book, yeah. Oh, wow, $3? That's good. I would have guessed it was like $8 or $9, but that book is so good. It's so concise, and the authors are great. They don't bog you down with so much goofy stuff. It's a really good book. You're not going to be able to put it down. It's really good, and you can't beat that price. What's up? Chris is in the house. Watching from Facebook. How you doing? No, I'm just talking to my bee people and my regular people. Yep, and you can make it out of. Oh yeah, if you can get scrap wood, forget about it. That's even better. That's free right there. Oh, do it this one. I wonder. See, I could probably strike a deal with the guy, but I'm trying to think. I should have. Yeah, the closest one I have to me is going to be down across the yard in the barn, so I can't even go grab it really quick. But no, maybe I'll talk to him. I'll be like, hey, let me see if I can get like 40 of those. And I could even save him some work too, because he does make a hole in the lid for a feeder jar, which I think is unnecessary on a swarm trap. And then he has a hole in the bottom that's screened for drainage, which that's actually not that bad of an idea. But I would at least say, leave the hole in the lid. Like, forget about that. Don't even put that on there. That's just too much work. It's not necessary. I'll talk to him. It's a little bit of a hike. Or maybe, and see, they won't ship too, because everybody has to go there. But the prices are good, and it's put together really well. So let's see what's going on. I'm taking a lot of flack over here on Facebook. Let me just show you guys some of this. Let me present, share screen. See what's on Facebook. Let's share this. I'm getting eaten alive over here. Not really. Nobody eats me alive, but I do got a lot of real goofballs commenting, like trying to fight with your boy here. Just like one. Like there's this one guy. What the hell's his name? He comments on this video here. Where's the comments? Can you guys see this? Yeah, you can see this. Column Grigor. So he keeps he tells me my post, the picture of my post here is fake. Let me see. How do I scoot up on that? Shoot. Oh, there it is. So my post here is this commercial guy talking about how you should fake how many of your bees die so that you can look like the bees are really dying, and that way they can raise the prices. And I was in this group. I was in that beekeeping group when that post came up. That was years ago though. And when I saw it, I was like, what the hell is this? What kind of slimeball shit is this? And they booted me instantly. So yeah, that dude who originally posted that is a crud ball. And then so this guy, Column Grigor, tries to just say it's fake. I mean, he's commenting on all my stuff, not all my stuff, but saying the most dumb stuff. I told him it's not fake, you damn clown. It was posted in a group I got a lot of clowns on Facebook. I think Callum Gregg. I don't think it's a fake name. I think he's just from another country. It looks like maybe, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Canadian. So let's see. Bird Lady Speaks has gotten to beekeeping because I thought we would starve to death due to all the bees dying out. Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting into it, but Yeah, we won't starve to death, but you're gonna learn. You'll see. You hang out with us. You hang out with the good crew over here. You'll be all right. Yeah, you bought some bees. Like I bet you, I'll bet you, at some point this season, you're gonna catch more bees than you have equipment for, and then you're gonna get kind of buried within a year or two. And then some will die, and then you'll catch some more. But eventually, you'll just balance it out, and you'll be fine. But you'll look back and think, man, why did I buy those bees? But yeah, no, you'll be fine. Yeah. So the good thing is you'll learn eventually how to get it all for free. Really, I mean, you'll get free bees. You'll get a bunch of honey. You'll be able to get your wax and all that stuff. Hopefully, have a good time and not mope and cry like a lot of these beekeepers do, just constantly whining about everything. You'll have a good time, and then you won't really be hurting anything because you'll eventually just be catching your own bees. I think hurting them is like to make the situation bad is when you're buying a bunch of junky bees, wasting your money, whining about them dying, bringing them up to your state where they're from another state and they're full of diseases, you know. But once you can just harvest them from your environment, just like anything, then to me that's pretty cool. Oh, I love trolls, man. Sometimes people are like, oh, just leave them alone. I don't leave them alone. I kind of like eating them up. I've been doing this a while. Yeah, even Ronnie. Even Ronnie bought 4 nukes. Ronnie the Swarm King. Ronnie won the Swarm Boss Challenge last year. Caught more swarms than me. He wasn't too far ahead, but he still gave me he kicked my butt a little bit. And then now it just seems funny. Like I can never picture Ronnie buying bees. I'm sure Ronnie ain't gonna picture me buying bees. All right, let me just see really quick what video this stupid comment was on. Okay, there it is. This was on a video called, oh, it was a short. So let me just find it right over here. Where's my content? Oh wait, I guess I should share the correct window. This one, share. Here you get to see my YouTube, the inside my YouTube world here of a big famous YouTuber. Oh, so unfortunately we're gonna have to dig up again a troll video because that's where this comment was. Some serious audacity going on here. Let's see, where's the comments on this? Oh, look, you're getting to see my... Oh, crap. Hold on, I just messed up. All right, so let me pause that. I got to find the comment section. Man, I'm not sharing the right thing again. It'll take me a minute here. Not really. All right, so there it is. Now let me get the comment section here. You scroll down a little bit. Oh, yeah, look, you did delete it. Huh. I think this deleted. Where the heck is it? Did they delete it? Oh no, it's under here. It's under here. Haha. Man, I knew I wasn't going crazy. Okay. So I told him in the, you'll see that I told him I was going to use his comment on one of my videos as an example. So here we are back at this dumb situation of this guy saying that I bought a bunch of subscribers and views and everything. And I gave it way too much attention, way too much explaining, just showing that wasn't true. And then I kind of just picked on him a little bit. Tried to call him, he wouldn't answer his phone. He just, tucked his tail and just looked like just a scared little puppy. But so then this guy, Dennis Barney, 869, which I recognize that name right away as this goofball from Facebook from a long time ago. Always one of those Facebook people that just always has an answer for everything, like always chiming in on things no one's asking them about. Yeah. This is the guy who exposes one of the most obvious con artists ever, or a couple of them. Like, it's really dumb. But so this Dennis Barney guy says that this man does have a point. I spend a lot of time putting down other beekeepers, which will not get me views. Well, what this person needs to understand is I never really strike first. I do correct totally wrong information. And then I do react to people who say dumb shit first. I mean, but that's just a typical hypocrite. They'll get more mad about me reacting to the person than the initial thing that started the whole thing. And what started this whole thing was he posted about me saying I bought all my subscribers. So then we get into some beekeeping questions. Why do I have bees and what do I do with them? I mean, I love bees. I love bugs, nature. I love chickens. I love everything, every type of living plant and bugs. I just love that stuff. So that's why. And bees are one of the most interesting bugs you can keep. I mean, I like ants and wasps and snakes and turtles. I love all that stuff. But bees are they're different because you can actually get in and look at what they're doing in their life. They're not just bugs in a box to me. Not like these clowns talking about bugs, and they're not just bugs in a box. They're like a very interesting organism. They're not just your damn cows that you just milk for honey all the time, to me at least. So I love messing with bees, and that's why I keep them. And then honey, I could give a shit about honey. I have way too much honey all the time. So then he goes on to say, this let nature take its course as a line of garbage. Is it though? I mean, it's kind of a weird sentence. There's no change in courses. I mean, unless it's kind of gibberish to say like that we're just on a unstoppable course. Because if we are, then we're just a bunch of robots. So I don't really want to get into like religious philosophy or anything, but are we robots? I don't believe that. If you put them in a box or taken honey, you've changed nature's course. I don't see anything to say that that's taking honey or anything is bad or good. It's something we've been doing for thousands of years. Humans have been doing for thousands of years. So, yeah, more nonsense. Dennis Barney. Is it Dennis Barney or is it David Barney? No, it's Dennis. I knew it was Dennis Barney. I'm a nothing burger in the bee community. He's saying that about himself. Okay, whatever. No, I don't disregard somebody just because they're not popular. I have less respect for the most popular beekeeping YouTubers than I do for much smaller people. A lot of these big YouTubers now are not. They're more of a YouTuber than they are beekeepers anymore. They just changed over. As soon as I start seeing like memberships and all kinds of weird weird patterns of making videos and thumbnails and titles, and it just becomes a weird entertainment YouTuber, really. Not really beekeeping that much. Not that I'm good at all this crap, but as a viewer, you see the change. It's almost like a pandemic of these YouTubers now. They're all the same. There's a couple standouts, but they're mostly the same. I'm just here to learn, but there's not much to learn from. I don't do anything. That's what he says. Anybody who thinks I just don't do anything, they're stupid. I clearly do things. But these people think that just because you don't treat, that's everything. So then you don't do anything. If treating is all there is, then what are you? Just 90% a treater. You're not even really. Are you really a bee person? A bee, someone who's cool with bees and everything, and all you're thinking about is mites all the time. It's just okay. I'll just take your word for it. Did they watch the bee movie? Let's see. Oh, so then here he goes. There's not much to learn. Okay. I'm not sure you're much on I think he meant to say graphs, like analytics graphs, but he says grafts, like he's grafting branches or something. I'm sure you're not much on graphs, but your subs to views look a little funny. So that's just a weird thing to focus on for other YouTubers or people, beekeepers, to look at my analytics. That's strange. It's clearly clear. I've already said it from the beginning. It's so clear that I did get a giant boost of subscribers from one stupid viral video of my finger getting stung. I said that 1,000,000 times. But if you go to, say, Castle Grounds channel, the guy who does Castle Grounds Apiary, he does the statistics and analytics of all the channels. Believe it or not, my dumbass channel was number 3 of all the beekeeping channels for views, behind only Texas Bee Works and Galloway Lights, the other one who got accused of stuff. So what does that mean? Did I make a lot of money? Hell no, I didn't make anything. It doesn't really mean anything, but that's just how weird things can happen. But my views and subs, there's nothing weird about them. It's something that happens. Try to remember, we live in a world, we need treaters and non-treaters. I mean, there's another meaningless sentence. Bees don't need it. Honeybees don't need any of us. They could totally live without us. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody. I don't need any beekeepers or treaters or non-treaters. You guys do what you want to do. I don't need any of them. No. So my response was, wow, from everything he said, your takeaway was he has a point. And I meant that, because everything that he said, every single thing that he said was incorrect or a lie. And then after being proven wrong, he still keeps saying it over and over again. So every single thing he said was false. So he can't possibly have a point. I said, are you okay, sir? You're welcome to come on my channel and talk about this with me live. Just give me a date and time. And that's for anybody. Go tell anybody that. And then I tell him about how his name is familiar. I said, your name's vaguely familiar, some Facebook blowhard. You obviously don't know any of my positions on beekeeping if you think I just do nothing. I've never seen a comment of yours on my channel before. I'll use your comment as an example. So just to finish this up here, he does come back with some more weird stuff. Let me see who's in. Make sure there's any questions. Nope. He says, wait, can you see that? Yeah. He says that he had a point. He doesn't believe in vulgarity and name calling, but he does like that guy. So for me, another thing that hurts my channel, I think, in my videos, my views, is I do swear. I do cuss. Like, I don't bleep stuff out really that much. So that hurts things. Also, when you have as many kind of people that don't really like me that much, they tend to hit the report button a lot. So I do get a lot of videos reported. So it doesn't help. Probably hurts a little bit. But again, as usual, hey, that's just what happens. He likes the guy. He will not be coming to my channel for what he believes would be an unproductive discussion. Okay, I mean, that's one way of being scared and wimping out. Doesn't want to come on. Fact check myself. He doesn't like or believe in Facebook. Well, you can just believe in Facebook all you want. It exists. He says he hasn't been on in close to 10 years. That's obviously not true. I remember his name. I can still picture his profile picture. Probably 5 years ago. You're right. I do not know your positions on beekeeping. So if you don't know my positions on beekeeping, anybody listen, you should be quiet. You should just shut up or come on and say something. He's seen several of my videos. Do I do it for the honey? Do I sell bees? Obviously. Yeah. He does cutouts, swarms, doesn't buy bees. Oh, he says honeybee is a God-given resource for humans. Okay. And he loves honey. This will be my last post. That's what he said. That's it. Sorry for making you all sit through that, but that's just another blowhard coming over here trying to, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. That I'm still undefeated with everybody. Won't come on. All right, so there's that. Get rid of that. Bloop. I don't think there was much else interesting on Facebook. So I can get rid of that. And all right, it's been 33 minutes. Whoever's still here, I still got a few people here. I'll put it in one more time. Somebody want to come in? That's fine. Let's see. Purged it. Boop. For some reason, people who comment on Facebook, well, there's not really anybody here from Facebook. I mean, there was the one lady, but for some reason, people from Facebook that comment in my lives, Facebook like flags all their comments and then sends me a whole bunch of warnings to delete all these comments, and it's really, really weird. It's probably because of StreamYard. But so that's why when I sent a link like on Facebook, I said, hey, if you could watch it through YouTube, that's better. So I have Frank. I can see Frank right now setting up his phone camera. I don't know if he's ready to sit down and talk. I don't want to be walking around going all crazy. But I'll wait till he sits down, see what he wants to talk about. I remember this one dude from Australia used to always come into my lives, and he would like just start going nuts, start walking everywhere and trying to show everything. I'd be like, dude, sit down, man. Just sit the hell down. All right, we got Frank from Galloway Lights coming in. A fellow subscriber buyer and view buyer. Oh, he got his phone turned straight up and down too. What the hell is going on? Oh no! Might as well put. Oh, look at that. Might as well put it back now. Nah, go ahead. Turn it back the other way. There you go. I think once you lock it in, once you get it started, you can't. It won't switch. Why does this damn thing keep falling down?
So you have an overhead flashlight on your head?
No, that's my actual light in the room. That's like an angel trying to come down on my head.
It's a sign.
I have a little sticky tab over my camera there. I don't know, man, that looks really goofy. I'm not good at all this stuff.
Hey, now we know that you have technical issues too. That's good. I thought I was the only one.
I got every issue. I got technical. I got everything. All right, well, there's going to be like a little white strip going over my head, unless I just go turn off my light.
Now your thumb was glowing.
Yeah, man, I can't get it to just. Okay.
So that actually shines right through your thumb, I guess.
No, see, watch. When I lift this up, boop, it's coming right over top of my room divider. Maybe if I pull this in a little bit. Hold on. All right, now I think it should be blocked. Oh, look at that. There we go. We're blocked.
There you go. I always like these guys that have those round lights, and they have these little round circles in their eyes when you look at them.
Yeah, you know what that's. Thing. Do you know what that's from?
There's little round lights, but why they like those lights?
No, they're not little. That's the reflection on their eyeballs or on their glasses. That's because they have a ring light that's in front of their camera or behind their camera.
Here, I have a square light.
Yeah, so what you see is a circle either reflecting on their eyeballs or on their glasses or whatever they're wearing. So what were you thinking about any of the crap I was talking about?
I missed it all, man. I jumped in here right when he said that God gives us beads.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, so God gave us beads. Well, I mean, yeah, no, most of it was just kind of just shooting the breeze with Rodney and Bird Lady and a couple people that were in here.
That's cool. They all came in with you?
Yeah, they're here. Bird Lady.
I mean, they came in the picture or no?
Oh, no, nobody came in. I was hoping, I do have some people, like, trying to give me a hard time, but none of them showed up as usual. But the cool thing that I have set up, I don't know if you can see it. Got my little. You ever see one of these?
Is it an outhouse?
No, it's a little refrigerator.
Are you kidding?
It's cold.
And it really works? Or is it fake?
Yeah, it's cold. Stick your finger in there. No, it's got a little cold.
Was it using like electronic circuitry or something like that?
Yeah, it plugs in the back. See,
it doesn't have a compressor, right?
Huh? It has a USB plug that plugs into the side of my laptop. So now this thing is.
What if they're using like a piezo effect or something?
Oh, you got me. I don't know anything about that. All I know is you plug it in and it gets cold really fast.
I know there was a beekeeper at one time was trying to find a honey warmer or something using those electronic heaters.
Oh yeah.
Just a small, small ice chest and puts his honey in there and warms it up.
No. Yeah, that works. Yeah, you take like an old dead freezer or refrigerator and you just put some light bulbs in it and just That's crazy that's great. I have my little jack. What do you call it? It's like a little bucket jacket. So Bird Lady's still here, just cleaning. Yeah, we were talking about how she's down in, I think, Georgia. So she's like right down there where them bees are going to start swarming really soon.
I thought they were all like jumping out of the hive.
Well, I know that in Florida and, Southern California and some parts of Texas, they're already swarming. People are already catching them. And Georgia's kind of like the capital of bees, really. Like everybody who orders bees, they come from Georgia. Like that's where most packaged bees seem to come from. So you should. That's like. That would be like. What would that even be like? Like living in a state that's just known for like millions of chickens everywhere. You would never pay for chickens. They're all over the place.
Like North Carolina, chicken country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to one of them guys out there, and they were telling me that, I was joking with them. I said, the water is greener over on the other side all the time. He says, yeah, well, when you're over here, you realize that, yeah, we might have a lot of bees early, but that long stretch is drawn out, and we don't do so well for like the honey production and everything else. It's just, so stretched out. And I'm like, yeah. He says the Canadian beekeepers are the ones that actually make the best deal because they got such a short window, and they just basically they come out of the freeze, bam, bam, they're done. They go back in the ice box.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, everything just explodes all at one time. So it's not uncommon for colonies up there to just have 200-300 pounds per each thing. But so then I guess if you go to places that are just warm all the time, all year, like Florida or Texas, they're still gonna have like drought periods. Not drought, but like dearth periods that are can happen.
Yep.
Here in Pennsylvania, where I'm at, and like kind of where you're at in Jersey, we have like 4 solid seasons. Like they're all equal. They're kind of equally long. So yeah, we're right in the middle of it. We have
You're not up in the mountains or anything like that, so you're not like low atmosphere and all that, are you?
No, I'm not in the mountains. No, I'm probably right at sea level. But
like
spring, from April and May to early June, that's like, if I was a honey person, like say I just really wanted to just focus on honey. I didn't care about anything else. I could produce like all my honey from April to early June, steal it all, and then sell all my bees and just get rid of them. Just say, here, take them all. I could just get rid of all my bees and be sitting there on tons of honey and have nothing to worry about. I wouldn't have to worry about feeding or like overwintering. Then I could just buy a bunch of bees. I don't know how I would do it, but I guess I would have to save some. But my point is, like, maybe it's like a lot of places, but from April and May, it's coming in so fast. It's hard to really keep control of it unless it's like your job, which is not my job. But
yeah, sometimes I guess the economics might say, it's cheaper to just buy them than to feed them and go through all that havoc.
Yeah, like in Alaska. I mean, there's places in Alaska, like I've talked about it before. There's a lady on TikTok who buys like 4 packages. She lives in Alaska. Probably pays double what anybody else would pay. They immediately, just like Canada, they just, their bloom is ridiculous. They completely make a ton of honey really fast, and then they don't waste any effort on trying to overwinter them. They just vacuum them into a vacuum. They suck all the bees in, they kill them, and they steal every single drop of honey from them. And it works out because the amount of honey that they make is worth so much more than what they spend on bees.
Wow.
Like, why would they want to waste their honey overwintering them?
For sure.
Yeah, for so long. Like, they'd be all that stress for what?
Yep.
But again, I hate getting off on that kind of tangent. Like, that's beekeeper. That's like commercial beekeepery talk, which is totally uninteresting to me. Yeah, so I see you're over there on TikTok really blowing up pretty big, huh? You're getting close to 2,000 followers.
I got like 3 subscribers, yeah. I'm like, woo.
Subscribers?
No, followers, I guess they call them followers. It's a whole different terminology.
No, you have well over 1,000. You have like almost 2,000.
Oh, yeah, but doing that live, I got like 3 or 4 or something like that.
Oh, some more people followed you?
Yeah, from that live that I did today, making a fool of myself. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, hey, look, we got Pete Grigley. How you doing?
Yeah, I was trying to get my phone to go out in the yard, and I don't know that for some reason this StreamYard is so limited on what you can do with it in a phone. It's aggravating.
Yeah, on the phone you can't really. I don't know if you can share screen. I mean, you can have guests, but that's about it.
And you can't really see their comments, and
You can't. I see comments when I go live on my phone.
maybe I have to turn. I don't know. I just couldn't get it to do anything. And it's also jumping in and out. I don't know. I had the phone and the computer going at the same time. I was comparing them, and my phone was like skipping. You could see the bees. I had them watching bees, and you could see them stop, start, stop, start. So,
All right.
I don't know.
So we got Pete here. I wonder how his how that mint is growing that I sent up there. It's gotta be poking up a little bit. Well, unless he got hammered by snow like we did. You get a ton of snow recently?
No, nothing as of recently. No, we had a couple flurries yesterday. You
Oh,
had
you didn't
snow.
get.
I saw your bee sleeping on the snow. Is that real or is that past video?
No, that was just from the other day. I was out there. We did get a whole lot of snow, but then the temperature went up to like, I don't know, 42 or something. It was really sunny. So a whole bunch of bees came out. They just started coming out and they hit the snow and flipped right over and they were just dying. Just falling
Wow.
right in the snow. And I said, let me see if I pick up this bee. I was just getting some footage of it. And it was a boring video. I mean, I see a lot of these videos of people, they scoop up a whole bunch of bees and take them in the house. I mean, whatever. If you want to do it, that's fine. But I think once they warm up and you bring them back out and you dump them in the hive, they're just going to get killed right away.
I almost think they get like brain dead, maybe. They're a little like starved for oxygen during that time or something. Because they act a little differently.
Oh, when you bring them in the house?
Yeah, after you thaw them out.
Yeah. Who knows? I ain't doing it. What the heck was
You're not
that?
going to get your breath on there?
No, I ain't doing
Recover
that
one?
shit. No.
I think it
No.
was my first year I did that. I had no idea. It's like when you're young and you're like trying to save every bee, you put the thing back in there, making sure you don't squish one, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like squishing bees. I squish very few bees when I do inspections. I mean, that always kills me when I'm watching these freaking big timers. They'll crack open about, oh hey, look in here. They'll lift it up. Oh, look under there, and you see all these bees. They all just come right out to the side of the wood, and they're in between all the combs and the brain. And they just go, oh, let's look another one. And I'm like, what the hell's the matter with you? They're just squishing thousands of bees, or they'll lift the lid up. Oh, here, look at this. Look at me. I'm a big fucking beekeeper. Lift the lid up. All these bees are like right there. Okay. I mean, whatever. I don't care, but
When you open it up later on, you see all these flat bees, and you're like, oh man.
they're just, and what are they doing it for? The camera. They're doing it for the, I don't do anything for the camera. Screw the camera. Screw everybody. I mean, I'll set up my camera and say, hey, I'm going to do this thing. Oh, hey, look at me catch this dumb swarm. But I'm not doing anything special just for the camera. Like, I don't think to myself, oh, what does everybody want to see today? Let me see if I can think of something. What this guy wants. I don't care about that. I just do what do I want to do. And I'm sure as hell ain't squishing 1,000 bees just so I can show off that one of my colonies is still alive. But that's me. I don't know.
I like to get on camera so I can watch it later because it's not comfortable out there sometimes. It's hot, it's cold, it's you're getting stung, and you can sit back later on and you can watch this video. You're like, beekeeping is wonderful. And you know that when you're doing it, your hands were all stucky up. Everything was like, oh, disgusting. Touching your phone and everything, all the buttons are all gooey, and you're like, oh man, this is disgusting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I like doing the videos, but you're not going to see me doing this stuff a lot of people are doing. Like, there's some, I mean, we can't say, I have no problem saying names, but there's just a lot of people that are like, each video. Oh, hey guys, hey boys and girls, we're gonna do this, and oh look, if you're looking really close, you can see that they're doing the nest knob. Oh, and they just say the same thing every video. It's like, who are you talking to? The same thing every time. Can't do it. My audience is gonna be mostly like, my audience is like people who either mess with bees. It's just a mixture of everything. I'm not gonna just focus on like every single time I make a video. I'm giving a classroom lesson to a bunch of like third graders. That's so annoying. I can't do
It's
it.
tough. I mean, I get comments all the time, and people are like, "Why you talk like that? Because you're distracting people from the truth." You at the end of your video, you make a comment like, believe this if you want to, but it's fake. And then like, well, why do you do that to people? They don't even know, watch to the end, and they all get confused. And I'm thinking like, oh, you're right. There are some people that don't know, and I shouldn't do that. But then it's the same sense. There's other people that have been around, and we just want to enjoy ourselves.
Well,
And
no,
it's
you
like,
do
oh,
use a goofy voice a lot of times. You do use a goofy ass voice a lot of times. I'm like, why does he talk? But it is funny sometimes, and if that's your natural like sense of humor, that who the hell am I to tell you not to do that? But yeah, so I wouldn't tell somebody not to do that. But you talk using these other channels as an example that I've already done whole videos on, where the audacity of some clown who's only been messing with bees for like 2 years or less and making these long videos. Here's 10 ways to get the most honey. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, man? Like, what are you talking about? Oh, here's 10 things you need to know about how to. You don't even know anything. I don't know. That one challenge is so annoying. Oh, no, you
it
already know.
happens, I think, to all of us when we first get into it. We're like, oh, this is something to talk about. This is all new and it's exciting. And you start making videos, and then before long, you realize that you're just like all these other newbies, and you're. It's the excitement.
I
It's.
know, I know, I know. So I try not to be too judgmental, but man,
It's
oh
something the
God,
bees
no,
do to you. You just go
Pete Wrigley
gung
did
ho
not just say
crazy.
it. The bee fit, the Fitbit, Fitbit beekeeping. Where are the beef? I don't know if they got married. I do know that I kind of like torture myself to watch those videos. Just like I torture myself a lot watching a lot of bee videos just because I gotta. I torture myself. Sorry, I just do. So I do watch a lot of this channel's uh, videos, but I don't usually make it to the end. I just can't get that far. But one thing I'll say is I have not noticed a dude in several videos. It's been several videos he has not been in. I could care less, but I don't know. I don't really know what's going on. I don't care what's going on. But now that
I
you
have a
asked,
secret. BFit's going to California. You
I
got to
have not.
watch the end.
Oh, you watched that? Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know. You got to have something in your life to give you a drive and motivation. So if California is your drive, otherwise, what are you going to do? Sit around and, all right, well, I'm going to retire. I'm going to go back to two hives and just kind of like, dwindle down. I'm bored of it. Go to something else. I don't know. Got to keep excited.
Bird Lady says that's gonna be her. She's gonna be annoying as heck. I mean, I don't think so. From what I've seen of all of Bird Lady's videos, Bird Lady, which I keep saying Bird Lady. I'd rather say like whatever her name is. She's got kind of a what do you call it? More of an exciting voice and way of talking about things than I do. Obviously, I'm like dry as hell, depressing as hell. So I'm sure her videos will be fine. And I don't like telling anybody what to do, but just kind of, it's really obvious, and it's nice to see when people know what lane they're in, and they don't just try to go all over the place out of it. Like that's all. That's all. Like if
How
it's your
young is
first year
Bird Lady in
beekeeping, and you're
beekeeping?
like, if
How how young is Bird Lady in beekeeping?
She doesn't have bees yet. Just ordered
Oh,
bees. We'll be getting them soon. She will be. She's already got her some equipment. Got a good deal on like 3 setups and everything. She has
so
no
the
idea
first
what's about to happen. She's about to get just like overdosed in bees.
so the
And
first question is she going to do package or nuke?
no, she already got packages. She got 3 packages, I think, or 2 packages. She got 2 packages, but 3
Yes.
setups.
Yep.
So that's gonna be. See, I've already told the story before, but I don't think Bird Lady was around. Unfortunately, my first year, I did buy a package. I ordered it in December, and then I got it in April, something like April 20th. And then after I got my $160 package, I caught a swarm the next day. I was
Yep.
like, oof. And then a week later, I got another swarm. So there I am with 3 colonies, my first year of beekeeping, and I paid for one, and I was like, damn, I wish I could like have just been able to say I never ever bought bees. I'm not like Walker who goes and buys like 50 nukes,
Yep.
kills 25 of them, and then goes into winter with 30 and just a big mess of bee buying and selling.
So what'd you use as a swarm lure your first time?
Me,
Yeah.
I got the old paper mache bucket trap, and it came with a little vial in an envelope. That's what I used the first time. But I didn't
Wow.
have wax, so I took a sheet of wax foundation and I melted it and I smeared it on the inside of that. That's how I caught my first one.
Wow.
Oh
And
my
you
god!
bought the wax foundation or?
Yeah, I had wax foundation. Yeah, with the wires in it. I melted it. I took the wires out and I melted it in a microwave in a bowl, and I learned about that from letembe.com from Jason. I forget his name now. I think I'm getting tired and I had 2 beers, so I'm like my eyes are getting a little buzzed. Jason, damn. But yeah, letembe.com is where I learned about swarm trapping, and yeah, and I caught those swarms after buying bees.
Wow.
Yeah, so I remember that cutout that Pete Grigley's talking about. It's like, what a mess. Wow. But cutouts are a mess. I can't blame somebody for getting over their head on a cutout and making a bad video. That's normal. Most of my cutout videos are terrible because I'm not that good at them. But the overconfidence of just like how great they thought they were doing. Like I'll
So
just admit, no,
how long did you plan on your beekeeping before you jumped in?
me. Oh
Yeah, how
man.
long did you think about it?
Well, beekeeping itself, I really don't know. I don't know. I know that I've been catching bees and wasps and ants and having ant farms and worm farms since I was like 4 or 5. Like I grew up, I don't know how old you are, but I think we're close in age. I think we're close, unless something's throwing me way off.
Yeah.
But I think we're kind of close. So the
50,
80s and like,
54.
oh shit, you're way older than me. But so that's actually good. But at least I grew up in the 80s, right? So
Yep.
we mess with bugs. Like that's all we did. Just went out and messed with bugs and like got stung and got bit by everything. So I always loved bees and bugs and wasps and everything. But I don't know when I said, "Oh, I'd like to keep bees." I really don't know. But it was probably a year and a half or so of reading books and stuff before I ordered my package. And then ran into letembe.com where I learned that swarm trapping was a thing. I don't know how the heck I didn't know about that. I didn't even know varroa mites existed until after I had my bees. Like I had my bees for a good bit, and I'm like, what are all these people talking about? I have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah, I
Because
think the
Jason,
80s is when it started. So yeah,
yeah,
you're like right in the beginning of it all.
let me see. So, Bird Lady, you know what? I would. You might have some luck with that. Like, if you find a local club that you go to, I mean, you probably don't want to get a refund for both of them, but you may just want to keep one, just for the hell of it. But I'm telling you, if you follow If you follow, the advice of setting traps correctly, get some Swarm Commander. You might as well just get the official stuff. Lemongrass oil works great, but if you end up getting a kind that isn't really the right stuff, you might not catch anything.
Don't do like I did. I had mine sitting out there in the yard for 2 years. It was just a fresh box, never seen bees, didn't put any scent in it, and I just waited for something. I had no idea. I just waited for
You
two
just waited
years
for
and
an empty
nothing
bag,
happened.
especially if you use like. There's a Jamaican guy called he has a channel. He does a lot of swarm trapping, but he only uses 5-gallon buckets, like junk buckets. These buckets look like they fell off the back of a truck and rolled down a mountain. They're so beat up and just disgustingly, but he uses them to catch swarms, and his channel is called it's called Try a Thing TV. I think that's 3 separate words for the title of his channel. Try a Thing TV, and just put that in your search or write it down, and maybe add the word swarm to it or something, and you'll run into his channel, and he's just always catching a ton of bees.
He mucks up the whole inside the bucket. It looks disgusting, but
yeah. I mean, it's just disgusting to us, but it just shows that you can use junk and catch hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars worth of bees. Like I think I caught 38 swarms last year. Rodney caught like 46 or something. I mean, but bottom dollar, $100. That's a good little bit of money. And then they made a lot of honey too.
yeah, my problem has always been I ran out of boxes and I don't even bother.
Hey, Rodney says, "What's up, Frank?"
Thanks.
Pete says, "Where's Bird Lady? She's in Georgia."
Oh, she's in the middle of it, man.
Let me see.
The Green Acres.
Okay, so Bird Lady says, "What kind of beeswax should I get for the frame?" If you mean for the foundation, like for coating the yellow parts, or I don't remember if you had yellow. I mean, they come in all different colors, but the plastic part in there, what kind of beeswax? I'm not sure what commercial grade. I've never bought beeswax. I don't know what commercial grade is, but that might be. You got to be careful because there is fake wax out there. Like if you get those little beads, they come in like a little bead. Those are made for like making candles and stuff. Again, I would really highly recommend you find a bee club and just find one of them old fuddy-duddies there and say, "Hey, can I buy a couple blocks of wax off you?" Almost every bee club is going to have somebody that just has a bunch of little blocks of wax, and they'll probably just sell it to you for like $10 a pound or something like that, or less. It doesn't have to be high grade. It's actually better if it's kind of older wax, like from a solar wax melter, because it'll have a lot of the smells in it that you need. You don't want to get that.
Like the yellow, right? Instead of the white.
Yeah, I think if you get like cappings wax, which is like the highest quality, it's almost white. That's too high quality. It's too good. It's too good for that. You want to get the kind of grungy stuff. We got a little bit of time. I'm gonna make a couple of videos just to explain it. Even though I already do have a bunch of videos, I would be weird about ordering it on Amazon because you might just get a bunch of like, what do you call that wax? Like it's not beeswax, but
slum gum.
No, but like it doesn't come from bees. It's like
the paraffin.
Yeah, you might
use
get
on tanning and stuff. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Buck says he makes his from pallet wood. I was going to tell Michael that I make mine from trees.
Oh, no.
Chop them down, cut them up. The only problem I find is it's very labor intense. And by the time you say, I could have bought it for $25, the whole thing with frames ready to go and foundation, and you're looking at how many hours it took to make it, you're like, wow. But still, I don't have $20 that I lost. So
you mean from the frames and everything?
Yeah, I
You
made the
don't even,
frames. I make everything except for the foundation. So it's a
yeah.
lot of
Well,
work.
you don't even need foundation, man. That's why you don't even need it. All you need is some
Yeah, but
super.
don't you don't draw yours out? Don't it blow apart if you put it in an extractor?
No, no,
You don't wire it?
nope, nope, never. Well, most of my super, like my honey area, I do use foundation, but not all of it. And I haven't had a frame blowout in a long time. If the comb is so soft that it would blow out, I cut it. I cut it out
Because
because it's not
I
soft.
made the mistake in the heat of the summer. You know how you take the frame up out of the thing, you go like this,
Yeah,
and it goes.
yeah, you can't do that. So Bird
Like,
Lady has some
no,
scouts.
no.
Oh, Ronnie's
And you
51.
got brood in your hand, and you got bees squished between your hand. You're like trying to stick it back in the frame, and the honey's all dripping over your hand. It's like, oh, what a mess.
Yeah, you usually only do that one time. Like just like when my inspector comes over, I'm like, hey, you know where you're at, right? Don't be tilting my frames like some kind of beekeeper here. Like we're amateurs. I got everything's foundationless, like almost everything.
And no
So
strings attached, right?
there's nothing holding anything. Um, what type of beeswax should I go for? Oh wait, didn't I already see that? Oh, maybe it.
Yep.
So again, I would say be careful on Amazon. Maybe just check out first, see if you can find a club. There has to be a million clubs around there, or even just like a local Georgia beekeeping Facebook group. Go into it, say, hey, can anybody sell me, I don't know, 10 pounds of beeswax, like for coat, say that you want to use it for coating foundation. Then they'll know that you don't need like 5-star beeswax. You just need like some yellow, some orangish beeswax.
How about some slum gum? Hey, you got any slum gum you can offer me? That's
Yeah,
the
so he,
greatest, right?
he said he could send you some. Like, what do you need? And even me too. I could send you like a couple old frames. I mean, I don't know what shipping would be, but or some old like dark brown comb, because that's what you need for your swarm trap. That helps with your swarm traps a lot. And that's light. It's not even heavy. I could just like fill up a box. Michael Buck, how you doing? He said Michael Buck says I won a beehive at a fair 13 years ago, and have spent a lot of cash for my own honey. Have 20 now, spaced in 6 different yards. There you go. Want a beehive at a fair. There you go.
Michael Buck says he puts a cage around his stuff so it don't blow up in the extractor.
Oh, where's that? Did I miss that?
Yeah, it's right after Ronnie's, but they might have shuffled it around these comments.
Yeah, so they do have cages for that kind of thing. I use my buddy's electric extractor, and it's motorized, whatever. And as long as we just started not too fast and just gradually turned it up, nothing blew out. We didn't have any blowouts, and some of them were
Yours
deep frame.
yours has the wire like grid work.
No, no, I don't. I yanked all the wires out of all my frames. It's either
No, I mean in
nothing.
the extractor. It has the
Oh,
wire frame grid work.
it's a radial. Wait,
So you have to flip it after you do
no,
one time
it's
around. You
the other
flip it and
one.
go.
It's the
Oh, they
other one. So
stand
it's
straight up and down.
tangential. So they're
Oh yeah, yeah. So you can do both sides at once.
yeah. Okay. So when I was talking to Bird Lady, I said that she needs to coat the foundation part with beeswax. So when for Bird Lady, your frame is actually the wooden part. The four pieces of wood, or it's the whole thing. That's the frame. But the foundation part, the foundation is that kind of grid in the middle. Yeah, there you go. I mean, what the hell? Don't I have anything around here? So what he's
That's the
holding in
frame,
there,
right?
that's the whole thing. That's the frame. Do you have a piece of foundation there?
And what's this part on the bottom? Frame rail, right?
No, no, that's the groove.
That's
That's
the
the bottom
groove.
bar.
The
Yeah,
bottom what?
that's the bottom. That's the groove. That's a groove
Okay.
bottom bar.
Bottom bar. See that? That's the stuff I keep forgetting when I'm live. It all goes out the window.
You
Bottom
got a
bar.
bottom bar, top bar. You got your side bars.
Yep.
Yeah, and you got your side bars.
Yep. Foundation? No.
We got
Don't have any of
Survivor
that.
Bees in here. David Blagg, I think his name was. David Blagg. How you doing, David?
So do you ever paint your frames?
The frame part? No. You
Yeah.
talking about the foundation?
Yeah, the actual wood part.
Do I paint them? No.
Yeah. I know the first year I started doing that with like the propolis because I thought maybe it would be hygienic or whatever and save the bees and all that stuff.
We got numbers coming out 38, 46. I don't know what that is. Is that people trying to guess my age? Because one's way off.
Oh, really? The 46 is really off?
Michael Buck says, I made a lot of boxes from pallet wood. Yeah, man. I really like there's another guy I used to watch years ago, like back when I first started. What the heck was his name? His name was McCartney something. McCartney. He had two names. His first name was McCartney, and his last name was like Hendrix or something. It was two like musician names. Or maybe it was like, but he made all his equipment out of these big fence planks, like these old red fence planks. They look cool as heck, man. But he had all top bar hives mostly. So Ronnie's
So they just
saying,
let the rest of us hang out, frameless.
yeah, it just has top bars. It's just, it's like a trapezoid type shape of the bottom part of the hive. Frames go across, and then there was a lid. So Ronnie's saying what I'm saying too. See if there's just a beekeeper around with a block of wax. Like my buddy Jason or anybody from the club, if they need wax, they can, I don't know, like $6 a pound. This big ass block. It's probably worth more, but I don't really care. It's so much of it.
Bird Lady says you caught 34 or 38 or 46 traps.
Yeah, something like that. I know me and Ronnie weren't that far apart, but maybe it was that far apart. Yeah, because he did a ton of cutouts. And I don't do that many cutouts.
Is Ronnie in your neighborhood?
Mine? No, I think he's down in like South Carolina.
Oh, wow. So he should have a better success, you would think, because it's warmer.
He does get a little head start on swarms that I'll never get. Michael Buck said he's seen someone make cages to put their frames in. Yeah, I've seen them do that. Or sometimes they just put like rubber bands around the whole thing. 3 or 4 rubber bands around the whole comb, so it really can't go anywhere. All kind of ways of doing it. So yeah, if you flip them, even with the manual, yeah, I always get confused. I forget which one is a radial and which one is tangential.
Yeah, so mine sticks in the box to the outside.
Okay, so what do you call that one?
Probably horizontal, right? And then
Nah, it's either radial or tangential.
Probably tangential. And this is probably the radial when it comes out of the radius.
Because the radius. Yeah, okay, yeah.
And you have the top of the frame toward the outside, so the angle lets the honey out.
Yeah, you're right. Those are the numbers forms you're running. 38 and 46. Sorry.
So I never understood why people do the top bar. I always thought you'd have support all around it. Is there an advantage to that? They're doing cut comb. Why would you want to do that?
Why would you want to do top bar hives?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. It's just you let the bees make their own comb. They're very easy to make. I mean, if you have access to, some good cheap leftover wood, they're way easier to put together than Langstroth, which there's so many like specs you gotta be within just for it to make sense. And then when you're done, let's say you have an old top bar comb you don't want to use, you just cut it right off and stick it right back in there. You don't have to put foundation and rewire it and do all kind of weird stuff. You just throw that bar right back in there.
Although maybe they wanted that natural curve of the hive, think it was
There's
better
that
for the
too.
bees.
Like Les Crowder is a big proponent of that, and Natalie B, who was on here before, they use a lot of top bar hives, and they do, like, the angles are good for keeping the combs from being attached to the sidewalls of the hive. So, oh yeah, so there's some other, what Pete's saying. You know, they're definitely. I really don't have much experience in them, but yeah,
I'm more of the horizontal hive if I was going to do it, because I want a frame, very structured, symmetrical.
I have a long Langstroth, but it wasn't really made to exactly perfect spec, so it's kind of a hassle. But yeah, so with the top bar, there's less lifting. I don't know. It just seems it's cool to me. I don't know. That's like the original way of doing it.
What's the spec that gets your hive out of quonky? Is it the space in the top, or what don't you like?
Are you talking about on my long Langstroth
Yes.
hive? Yeah, it's above the bars. Above the bars, the bee space isn't right, so I have all these little slats that cover those, and the bees always lock it together really tight. Not only that, but also the sidebars. It's too tight, so they propolize those in too. So just to get a frame out, it's locked in from side to side after I scrape a ½ inch of wax off the top. It's just a big mess. But I guess I could turn it into maybe a Tanzanian top bar type hive. I don't know. Most of the time, once bees go into it, I don't even touch them. And last time they lived for 3 years.
You mean, and forget the frames completely? Just have a bar on the top, and that'd probably be easier.
No, the frames were in there, but oh, you mean in the future?
Yeah. Do you think they would not glue them in that way?
Maybe. I really don't know. Or I could do it kind of like a Warray type of style, maybe too. It would be just bars going across, but I could have, like, instead of the frame going all the way down and closing, I could just have like little nubs that go down, just so that they start there and then they just kind of go down.
Yeah. Custom made, yeah.
Well, yeah, I would pretty much be taking normal frames and just cutting the bottom right off.
Yep.
I don't know. There's just things you can mess around with and do.
I noticed other countries, they have these tabs are like way out there, and they don't have all this fancy dancy little dados and all these intricate cuts. They're just a flat stick, and they just stick a nail right in there and be done with it. And in the bottom, they don't do all this little grooves and stuff. They just have a stick, and they stick it to the end, and they don't have it like tucked in there with all these little details. It's just a nail, and they staple it on there. And they don't even do the grooves. Like you say, they don't do the frames. They just let them naturally build.
Well, yeah, that groove is totally unnecessary unless you're using plastic foundation.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point to it. I don't.
And what gets me is that right there, that little hole. Because you stick that staple right there in the center, and it'll blow right through there. If you get this piece of wood.
Wait, you made those?
Yes, it just blows right through that.
But why do you make the most difficult possible frame ever to make? Like, you did it the most difficult possible way. You could have just made the top bars.
And they make all these little details.
Yeah, and they all didn't need to have you got the little, what do you call those little nubs on the side? I forget. They're called like shoulders, I guess. Frame shoulders.
Yeah, some people actually nail them in on the sides. If I did that, they'd probably blow apart.
Yeah, I mean, I do that sometimes.
Nail them in the sides. I'm like, oh my gosh. And then some people like to nail them right here on the end, shoot them in. I'm like, man.
What I do is
I can get one nail in there, and it doesn't shoot out the sides.
I put my nail in crooked sideways so that I can't pull it straight up. And sometimes I only put one nail in. Sometimes I can put a whole frame together with 4 nails, but I put it in so crooked that there's no way you're going to pull it straight up.
Well, these are made so tight that by the time you hammer them together, you almost don't need glue.
Yeah. Oh, I've never used glue. I never use glue. I let them propolize it. but the way I pull my frames out, I don't ever have to worry about it. Like when I first started, I would kind of crank them up and I would rip the top right off. I've done that.
Yeah. You lift right here,
Yeah,
or
I only
you
did that.
pry in there.
Yeah, I did that
Yeah, the
for a
first
couple of
thing I do
years.
is separate them this way, and then once they're free, then I play with them.
Yeah, I think everybody does it that way now. Like I don't know what happened, but for a long time nobody did it that way, and then all of a sudden now everybody does it that way.
What,
I don't
separate them
I don't
sideways?
right. Yeah. For some reason, like I remember back when I was first starting, everybody cranked them. Nobody did it sideways.
Did they have the hook
They
back
just
then?
went right on her book. No.
You get that hook in there and just yank them, right?
Yeah. So it was normal for me to rip the top off. But yeah, now everybody
Yeah,
kind of
I
does it.
learned the sideways technique from watching you all on the on the YouTubes, because I was like, man, they're telling me not to break the top, so I'm like, oh, I'm learning from you all those mistakes, not gonna break them.
Michael Buck said, "You got too much time on your hands making all those frames." Those frames, man, that's a lot. They are intricate to make. It seems like it. Here we have to put the groove down. That's what I do. I put my groove down. I don't put it up. That way, nothing can get stored in it. What the heck? Oh, those are all the frames he made. So frames used to be $89 100. Yep, that's what I paid. $89 for 100 years ago, and I still have like several boxes that are not opened yet, which is good.
Yeah, I might be
Hey,
at 300.
we got Ricky Rourke in here. Did some bad nailing. I did some bad nailing, and there was a mess. You talking about on frames, Ricky? Oh, well, let me just in case. Oh, I'll put the invite here just for the heck of it. Nobody, no pressure.
Yeah. Come on, Ricky, you can do it.
Actually, my eyes are starting to burn.
Horizontal.
My eyes are turning a little bit red. They're getting a little, and I was over watching Ricky's live, and I didn't know that he was going until I already had mine set up.
Oh, he's already on tonight.
He had Fred Durst over there.
Oh man, I thought that was a couple days ago. I didn't realize that was fresh.
Yeah, that was a fresh one.
Wow.
Wood glue is a must. Why do you think that? For frames? I mean, I can definitely tell the difference between like well put together frames and my frames. Like mine wobble. You know, they friggin' wobble left and right, but they hold everything. So sometimes when I get a bunch of like actually correctly put together tight frames, they do feel nice. But I just don't have time for that. What the hell's he doing? He's over there. Michael Buck likes to glue his frames along with staples. Someday I will get it together and get a nice little pneumatic staple gun, I guess. And just do. What the hell?
You know what that is, right?
What do you got? Is that a tight bond you're putting in your hand?
Type Bond 3 that's been in the freezer outside. I forgot it in my truck.
And what are you putting it on? Your hand?
Yeah, it turned into this big glob.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Question is, will it still work?
I don't know. You got to put it in your hair, smear it all around your head. See what happens. Build 10 frames at a time.
$20 down the tubes. Don't do that if you're a newbie. Don't leave your Type Bond out in the outside weather during the winter.
I don't use glue on anything. You got Ricky cracking up over there. I don't know. Like for me, the way things are going, I kind of like I've had 100 and something hives before. I've done all of that. I really did not have fun having that many. Even having like 70 to 80 is still very annoying to me. So over the next few years, I'm gonna really just hopefully, dwindle down to like as far as I can to where I'm just having fun and not really stressing about it. 30 to 40. And once I'm down to those numbers, then there's no reason for me to like really try to rush to make boxes of friggin'. I like to have a bunch of friggin' horizontal, not a bunch, but at least 5 or so horizontals, maybe 5 top bars, and maybe the rest would be lang straws. Couple logs, couple skeps.
What's the number on the frames you think a horizontal should be?
A horizontal.
Yeah,
The one
50
I have,
frames.
yeah, I don't know. They can be whatever size. I mean, I do like the lay-ins too. Maybe a couple lay-ins but
Make them
I
100
think
frame.
my horizontal hive holds like 36, I think it is.
You ever think it's too small?
No, I've had 2 colonies in it, and they filled it up pretty nicely. Yeah, they filled it. It was good. It didn't need to be any bigger. I guess it only has enough entrances to be 2 colonies, but like I was saying, it has its issues, so I don't really love it. Harbor Freight has cheap equipment to stable everything.
That's how I nail mine.
Check out
Harbor Freight nails.
I'm so not a tool guy. Like I'm not a carpenter. I'm like the worst city person ever. I don't know how to fix cars, or I'm not a good. Very few tools I can use. I do know how to put frames and boxes together, but Rodney said, "Are you going to get the vaccine for your bees?" Fred Durst just did a whole thing about that. He did a whole interview about this damn vaccine, and it was excruciating to listen to and then to watch. I mean, to hear him talk about the price. They don't really know what they're going to charge, and it just sounds like a mess. Sounds like a terrible idea.
Yeah, but it's cheaper than burning your boxes or treating them, he says, because once you do that treating, you have to do that forever because it doesn't go away.
What are you talking about?
The vaccine is the cure, because he says if you have to do the antibiotics, once you start the antibiotics, you got to keep going for the life of the hive, because the disease doesn't go away. It's just there forever. And it says the other alternative is to burn the hive, and if they're plastic, you can't really burn them. Like California, or if they're painted in California, you're not allowed to burn them.
Yeah, so you notice how every one of your sentences starts with an if, and it's actually a big if. It's actually a very big if, because there has not been AFB. It's so rare. Like they're really focusing on the rarest thing. And you also said if you start using antibiotics, I've never used any treatment. I'm never going to use antibiotics.
So you're saying if lightning strikes, then this is what you do?
Right, exactly. It's, you know what? That's a good example. It's like lightning striking. It's like all of a sudden everybody's going to be scared of getting struck by lightning. Yeah, people get struck by lightning, of course. Things get struck, but I'm not going to start walking around with a damn grounding wire hat, or whatever you would need to not get struck by lightning.
That was a thing for churches. They used to sell the lightning rods, and you put them all over the whole roof, over the steeple, and that was a sales thing that you used to do.
Huh.
Lightning rods.
Yeah. And then the other thing with vaccines is, and also I'm not an anti-vaxxer, which I said I commented on Fred Dunst's Frederick, whatever the hell, Dunn. I commented on this thing. I said I'm not an anti-vaxxer. Like my kid, you have a little kid. There's certain vaccines you got to get. I don't even want to get into that stupid ass conversation, but as with any of those things, they have to be updated all the time, because viruses and diseases, they mutate, they change. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Get this one now, and then every year get a different one? Like we've gone for, let's see, 400, almost 500 years without it. We're buried in bees. The hell we need that for? Michael Buck says, I got a lot of extra coming this year from putting wet frames after extraction back on hives. Yeah, oof. I never do that. I don't know why so many people do that.
Because you
Maybe.
think they're going to clean them up and they're safe inside. It's
Yeah.
obvious. I would do that.
That smell. You can do that in the spring, but you can't do that in. At least here, you cannot. You, I don't want to say what you can and can't do, but I can tell you, you don't even want to
If,
drop anything with honey around here in July. Forget it. It's going to get absolutely buried in bees.
even if you distribute them throughout the yard, so everybody has a fair share.
If I have anything wet and sticky with honey, I put it like as far away as possible.
Wow.
Yeah. So what Ricky's saying is right. The comments were not supportive of it. Hey, what's up? There's Bamboo Stew over there at SoCal. What's up? He's your crypto beekeeper. And man, I've been trying to get a couple of those things, and it's just I keep running into trouble with it. But that's a different conversation.
What are you trying to get?
I was trying to invest in a couple things, but I thought it would be really easy. But they want you to use. Yeah, I don't want to even talk about it too much, but
yeah.
But they wanted me to hook up my bank account, which I didn't want to do. I didn't want to hook up my checking account, and I kind of hit a dead end, and then I forgot about it for a long time. So I'm really not doing it. Then
That's
I think
almost the way it is with a lot of these apps you sign up for nowadays. You sign up for an app, and it's like, well, they want your credit card, and they want a year subscription, and like, I'm like, no, just for an app.
Michael Buck. I keep wanting to say Michael Bush. Michael Buck uses FBM essential oils. Oh man, my cat's about to knock all my stuff down on my head. I don't know what that is, but yeah, I don't use any of that stuff. Yeah. So then you'll need like boosters. You'll need all kinds of stuff. And like I said, I'm not anti-vax. I'm not like a pro. Like you need to. I'm like do whatever you want to do. I don't care. I do believe in selection. Hundreds of thousands of people die from things. It doesn't really affect you if it doesn't happen to your own family. So no one in my family died. So it's easy for me to say I don't really care, but a lot of people did, but that's what happens. And I got sick with everything. I got the big one many like 4 times I got it. So yeah, and even what Pete's saying, it will. Anytime you're trying to fight something, you're just gonna make the competition stronger. Oh, Fat B Man, that dude's still alive. Is he still alive? I don't even know.
Isn't he like from England or something?
No, Fat B Man. He's down in Georgia, I think. I haven't heard that name in forever. I always thought he was a kook. I put wet supers back on. Only. Oh well, that's one way of doing it. If you can put them on like right before it gets dark, or even if you're crazy enough to go out there at night and do it, that would work. Or if you know that like rain is coming really strong the next day or something, you can put them on right before the rain. That'll keep everybody in, cleaning it. It's pretty much, you can do it during a dearth, I guess, but there's a critical little bit of time there. They gotta get it cleaned up. But I don't want to speak on it like an authority of all that stuff because I'm really not. I mostly.
Bruce said to do it this way, and I did it.
I'm a big shot commercial beekeeper.
Hey, you surprised me when you put that fondant on in the little baggies. I was like, no way. What happened?
I put that on. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. I put fondant on 3 colonies. That were kind of struggling just for the hell of it. They're like $5 each for the fondant, and all 3 of them are dead.
Really?
So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't even care.
And it was like what, 5 frames of bees, and they still died?
Yeah, there was 3 nukes that I did that to. Yeah, they were full. Like they were full of bees, but they weren't full of. I wouldn't say they were strong. Like they didn't have much storage. But it was dumb. Like what? I should have just probably shook them out or something. I don't know.
Did they eat all the whole patty and run out, or?
No, the one nuke did eat the whole thing, and I gave him another one. The other two ate like half of it and then died at some point. They just couldn't.
So you think it's the numbers? They just can't keep the temperature up?
Yeah, I think their food had they needed something in the combs to keep them. They couldn't just keep going up to that fondant and living off of it. To start winter off. That
So
it
you,
would have
you
been.
think the top bar is a little too far away?
It's not that it's far away, but it's just not readily available calories. Like it's not in honey form ready for them. It was some vanilla fondant. It wasn't really good fondant either. It was
Oh, you
like
tasted it?
for cakes. Yeah, I tasted it. I mean, it's for cakes. It was like vanilla flavor. Probably, one of the commercial grade types would have been good. Would have been better. But um, it's just like a last ditch little experiment. It didn't work. It's not a big deal. I still have what I have that's still alive now is still over my maximum number of bees that I want. So I'm still just doing great. I just those three nukes. Oh well, they're gone.
Yeah, I did one with a heated inner cover, and it died, but it had it has pure sugar in the frames, and I'm starting to wonder, maybe like you said, it's just not the right mix. They only had like a couple, maybe a frame or two of bees, and they expired. Now I have another one I showed you on that live with the ticker talker. It's a frame and a half of bees, and they got the heated cover, and they're doing good so far. But I did crank the temperature up to 60 degrees, so that might be the difference, because I had it was like 45 or something degrees. Maybe it wasn't hot enough. But
Hmm.
I'm just wondering if that's the thing. If these smaller numbers of frames, if that's the kicker, they just need an
No,
extra.
I've had many 5 frame nukes survive. Just a single 5 frame nuke box that was nice and heavy. And they were good bees that I've had for a while. Um,
So
I've
they
had
had to be
many.
packed.
Yeah,
Packed.
it's got to be heavy and full of bees. Like it's got to be heavy though. When you pick it up, you got to think, damn, this thing is heavy. It's full. Um, and these 3 nukes that I gave the fondant were in um, like this hard styrofoam colonies too. Hard
Oh,
styrofoam. What do you call it? Poly.
yeah, they should have been insulated and everything. So they should
Yeah,
have
they
been.
were in there nice and warm and everything, but it still just wasn't right. They probably would have done better with liquid feed, probably. Even in the winter, they would have done better with that. But I'm not going to linger on it. Let me see. Pete Grigley. I always put wet supers on, but never take honey out during dearths, so I don't have that issue. Yeah, I think if you wait till the dearth to take it off, maybe that's going to cause a problem. Which I have friends who have done that. They've waited until the dearth and then they're wanting to take it off, so the bees don't eat them. Like maybe you should have took it off like 2 weeks ago. And like my inspector came here during the dearth to inspect all my colonies last year again, and we did really well. Didn't really cause anything bad until we got to the one hive where I didn't realize I forgot to put frames in it. And as soon as he took the lid off, just all these combs just broke and fell, and honey went everywhere, and they got robbed out. Started a mess, but at least for that colony.
So you don't think the barnyard bees 2-frame nukes can win her over?
A 2 frame nuke, maybe down
Yeah,
there. I
not
don't know.
around here.
Maybe down. I mean, I don't know. It sounds maybe somewhere where there's not really a winter. I don't know if I consider like anything below Georgia to be a real a winter. I don't know. They might have a little cold snap, but um. So Ronnie only puts. Yeah, I mean, there's a few ways you can do it. I guess I just avoided. Oh, oh, look at that. Ronnie said he can overwinter in a plastic pro nuke. Yeah. So
Was it an 8-frame?
now those are 5 frame. Those are like those plastic things are like so thin and yeah, mostly just I don't use them. But
So they're double wall plastic, aren't they?
pro nukes, I don't know. I won't use them. I'm still feeding dry sugar. Oh, so he's down in South Carolina.
I'm wondering how those plastic hives hold up to the UV light over like 5 years.
Well, I was just watching somebody's video. Was that Rodney's video? Somebody where they use those, but they put like a big. Oh no, that was Yappy. That was Yappy's hive. Yeah, you can put like a big, like a political sign over it or something with a brick to try to keep the sun off of it is a good idea. I think with those, if you're in a really sunny spot. Yeah, Pete.
That's kind of like DC Bees does. He has his on like a whole tent, so the sun and the water stays off.
Frank had a heated cover, a heated inner cover. I don't know what I mean. Frank over here at Galloway Lights, he's always trying all kind of crazy stuff. He's always doing all kind of weird shit.
Yeah, my heated cover is actually one of these chicken feeders.
Okay.
And I took it apart, took the heater element out of there, hooked it up to a heater thermostat like your house, and I had it set for what did I say, 60 degrees.
Yeah, Frank takes stuff apart. He's always like taking crazy stuff apart. You ever see that guy on YouTube that like shocks himself all the time? Oh, that dude's hilarious. That's how I picture Frank as like his nephew. Like he takes stuff apart and all of a sudden it's like pop, and he's like jumping off screen. That's Frank right here. So Mike Buck says South Carolina weather is hard if you don't have a good food source. Bees fly a lot on 50-degree days. Yep. Oh, up here they fly. I mean, they fly at 40 or less. If it's really sunny and not windy, they're flying no matter what. They're flimsy and best for swarm collection. Cover them with cardboard boxes. Yeah.
So they must not be the double wall plastic ones.
I don't know. I've seen.
I have a buddy the ones that look like a milk crate. You actually see the grid work on the outside and they're flat on the inside.
Yeah, no, I don't know. What was I going to say? That I have a lot of people that bring them here to pick up bees. Like I'll just take a nuke out and stick it in their pro nuke, and they'll take it home and that. So I've seen them a bunch of times, but I've never really messed with them.
Are they the ones that look like plastic cardboard?
No.
And they come flat, and you can fold them up, and they like a cardboard box.
No, you're thinking of a Jay-Z box or something like that. That's the white. You're thinking of an Easy Nuke. It's a white.
Yes.
Green. Yeah. Those I also hate those too. But
why?
Why? Because they're corrugated. They get filled with water in all the little crevices and everything. Even it's weird. No matter what you do, they somehow, at least here, they always get full of water. Oh, a Jester nuke. That's what they're called. What the hell did I call it? Yeah, it's like a Jester Easy Nuke. It's the white one.
Yeah, that's why I noticed with those corrugated sign plastic, if you use that as an inner cover, you tip it sideways and it dumps out.
Right. Yeah, so that's what the Jester nukes are made out of, the whole thing. Michael Buck says, why would you want to heat up bees when there's nothing to eat? I think it was just kind of regulating the temperature a little bit and trying to protect it from like deep freezing. But I've seen people do it. Even that bug farmer guy did that, and he supposedly had a bunch of colonies make it with keeping the colony warm. A lot of people
think the bug farmer this year didn't have the heaters this year, and they all survived so far. He said no heaters this year, and they're all in those super insulated things. And believe it or not, all the bees are in the top uninsulated section.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do say that when the bees will use a lot more honey when they're warm, but I really don't see that. I don't find that at all. Like they burn less, because they don't have to fight to they don't have to burn calories to make heat. Depending on the situation, like bees on a wall, like in a house that's heated, The wall is heated. The home is heated. And they just can't leave because as soon as they go to the entrance and stick their antenna out, it's freezing cold. So they're staying in there. They don't tend to burn through all their honey faster than anything else.
I still thought that would be a great idea. Put them all on your walls of your house, all around all the perimeter. Have all these hives, and you have free heat.
Free heat, yeah, it'd be 98 degrees in your house. That'd be great. And
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that would be cool. I mean, I've thought of that too. That would be pretty cool. Like maybe if you lived in a really small house and you could put a whole ton of hives around. It would work. It might. Hopefully, you don't have any kids like hitting the wiffle ball around the house. If they're all like observation hives. Yeah. I mostly just use the cardboard boxes or tell people bring your own box. We work it out.
I was thinking about selling 10 frame boxes and just, here's the 10 frame box. Sell it with it.
Yeah, if I'm gonna get down to like my normal, a comfortable number, I'm gonna have to get rid of a lot of equipment. I got a lot of equipment that it forces me to want to fill it all, which sucks because then I end up with way too many bees. So maybe I will say, hey, just here, take this whole wooden box with the frames and everything.
So what makes yours so much work? I mean, you don't do a whole lot to them. So why is too many bees? What are they doing to you?
What makes 125 colonies a lot of work for me?
Yeah. Yes.
Just like, working my normal job is like 40 to 50 hours a week. I got kids' games to go to, and I got swarm calls and removals and everything. And it ends up, me chasing swarms around. I end up neglecting my own overwintered bees here. So then they start hanging on all the trees. And then when you get to like the meaty part of the year, swarms slow down. Now I have a whole, 80 to 100 boxes of bees. It's work though. Just because I don't treat, it's still work.
What do you have to do on the routine then? You're just basically swarm control and.
Well, there's giving them room. I try to give them a correct amount of room. I don't want them too crowded that they're swarming, and I don't really want to have like towering hives. So I am checking. I'm routinely checking for their space and their queen rightness, and making sure they're not wonky. I like to keep my frames and everything nice and in order. Like you watch a lot of YouTube, you'll see people take their lid off and their frames are just a mess. It's just a big old fucking mess of wax everywhere, and they just yank it out and slam it back in. This is a big. None of mine are like that ever because my bees aren't just like my damn milk cow or something like that where I'm just making sure her udders are clean and then I'm just like, or like not deformed and moving to the next one. I actually, enjoy looking at my bees, keeping track of them. So it's a little bit more work for me, I guess, even though I don't have hundreds and hundreds of colonies.
When you do your frames and they're all empty because you don't have foundation, what keeps yours from going sideways and all the different things when you're doing
combs?
that?
The combs?
Yeah, when they start building, they can do it whatever way they want.
Here,
go sideways.
What? That's a good question. Let me just pull up. I'll pull up one of my own videos. How about that? Let me find really quick my videos. I go to my channel. I wonder if I go. Oh, I can go to my videos. Hold on here. Let me share the screen here. I'll show you. Can you even still hear me? Oh yeah, there you go.
Yep.
Let me share the screen. Channel content, share, blip. Now I'm gonna search frames. Let me see when you're. That's not it. How do I
Look at all that money in that
Oh, here it
account.
is. Look at all the what? The money? Oh shit! Was my bank account up there?
No, I'm just kidding. I knew I'd get your attention.
So here's one of my videos. How I put frames together. Let's just play it.
How many years ago was this?
Hold on, is it even showing it? Hold on. Oh, let me pause this. All right, let me get rid of this. But sorry for all this goofiness. Let me present it.
I
I'll
don't
just
know
show
how you
you.
don't lose it when I jump around like this. My mind's gone.
All right, there it is. So here's me. Let me see if I can make it bigger, like that, or like this.
There you go.
All right, so there's that.
Sweet.
Let me just quick read these comments here. She's Cudix from New York has hives here, or Q-ticks. Queen. So here, let me just play this. I think this explains it. Loaded. It's just how I put frames together. Here I'm showing you that I have grooved bottom bars for my frames, grooved top bars. Here I'm just going to point out something that I do. I flip the bottom bar over and have the grooved part on the outside because so the reason I do that is because there's no need for that groove to be up for me because I'm not putting foundation there. Kind of like what Rodney was talking about. So since it's facing down, the bees can just propolize it. Like it's just a gap. They'll just fill it. It's not a big deal. They're already made that way. So here I'm putting little wax on the. There's no point to having it on the inside. Here I'm just quickly waxing the little piece of plastic foundation that I cut from a deep piece of foundation, cut them into thirds. All right, so let me pause that for Bird Lady here. If you remember, I was saying how you can cut your foundation into strips. That's kind of a big strip. It doesn't have to be that big. It can be half that. But this will answer Frank's question. This keeps them from going all crooked. I put wax on it. It's not necessary to put wax on it. It's much easier to just melt the wax and then brush it on, but I was just doing this for demonstration. So here I take my little frame nails and just kind of get them set in the frame. 2 will do, but 3 you can put on just to be safe. So I'm just tapping them in, not all the way. So in here I take my little piece of foundation and just pinch it in there as tight as I can so it's all the way in. So you see what's going in there? I got my fingers just kind of holding it tight and pushing it towards my thumb there. So it's held in there. So now when I hit the nail, it's going to catch that. And then
Can you drive it right through the frame?
Yep. Well, through the foundation, yeah.
Yep.
And then I hammer it through so it goes through the frame and through the plastic. And if it comes out the other side a little bit, you can just snip it off. I still had dip in my mouth then. Look at that. And there you go. Perfect starter strip. There's no way the bees will draw this crooked. It's ready for a swarm trap or for in your hive. Yeah.
So the same nails you use to put the boxes together?
No. Those are little skinny frame nails. Like I was saying, that piece of foundation there doesn't have to be that big. It can be half that, and they're not going to draw that crooked. If you put 10 frames in your box like that, they're going to draw it perfectly. Like almost, I hate to say every single time, but I swear 97% of the time they're going to draw those frames perfectly straight. There's not going to be any problem. And you can make 3 of those out of like 3 or 4. I don't know what else I have here. Like, what am I doing? Now here it is a year later.
Wow. I got to try that now.
You can see how perfectly they drew these. Just a tiny bit fatter at the top. The bottom is nice, foundationless comb.
How the pattern changes.
Yep. That looks perfect to me.
Look at that. The pattern changes.
Here are a couple shots of what your honey frames might look like. There's one. Here's one with the sun behind it.
So
You
that
can
means
do
the
some nice
frames are.
cut comb off the bottom there. Here we'll take a look at the bottom of the frame. So it's only been a year. They propylized a little bit in there. They didn't fill it out the way they do on some frames, but they'll eventually turn that into a beetle jail, lock a bunch of beetles away, and you never really have to worry about it. If they put it there, that's less there is somewhere else. Yeah, so, I mean, hopefully that explains it, but let me see what Ronnie says. He makes Starship 3/4 inch wide and string the frame. So, yeah, but you saw from that honey frame. Yeah, I don't know. That one I would probably cut the bottom off and make comb honey out of it, and then just stick it back in, or just scrape the whole thing. But that one looked kind of fragile, like it might blow off. But let me see what was.
Michael says he makes his own star strip from wax.
So, Michael, I got my own silicone mold to make foundation that can be cut. Yeah, see, but a lot of people do that, but I don't see. That's so many unnecessary steps to me. It's like first you're making foundation just to cut it into strips, and then to use it as a star strip. When, as me and Ronnie can tell you, and from that video, they don't even need. They don't need wax star strip. They can. I mean, you can do it. I'm not saying don't do it. What I'm saying is wax foundation is so obsolete in my mind. It's so like such a like weird old way of doing stuff. Wax foundation, like for what? They don't need it. They can build wax off of anything. It's strange to me. Like
I thought it was more natural. So when I first started, the person I started buying from, she insisted that wax was the only way to go. So that's what I started, make my own wax foundation.
I see people on YouTube. They cut wax foundation into strips. Then they melt more wax just to pour it down the groove to melt it in there. Like what? Why?
It's natural. It's no plastic. No plastic.
If you're buying your foundation, first of all, if you're buying it, it's just junk from a bunch of commercial beekeepers. If you're making it out of your own wax, okay. So, okay, if you're making it out of your own nice, fresh, clean wax, that's great too. But it's still 85 more steps than I'm gonna ever take. Like,
and when I put it between the silicone, they always come out so thick, so it uses a lot of wax.
Yeah, like hold on, what's Pete Grigley buys small cell wax foundation. What? Why? I mean, that's fine, I guess, but that shit's just gonna get swallowed. The bees are just gonna cover it right up. Like doesn't even. Yeah, I wouldn't. I did use wax foundation my first year, and then as soon as I realized they don't need, I was shocked to find that bees don't need any. They don't need any guide. Like they can just do it. It's weird.
Well, I'll tell you how you make small cell foundation. You take the silicone caulk and you put it over top of a plastic foundation. Once it dries, it shrinks. Instantly, you have small cell. I didn't plan that, but it was heartbreaking because now I have these microscopic little cells.
Yeah, there's no such thing as small cell foundation. No such thing whatsoever. I just built my small hive beetle vacuum for the beetles. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing. I mean, that's the cool thing about bees. We can all do it our own way, but we have beetles here. We have beetles here so bad, but I never have beetle problems because I think we cause those problems. Like not me. I'm not part of that group, but beekeepers, they cause the problem, then they fix it. It's like if you have a leak in your ceiling, and instead of fixing the leak, you just build a drain in your floor. You know, it's like I don't know. It's just like a weird solution. Like you use pollen patties, you use all kind of inner covers and stuff. You do all kind of hiding place for beetles, then you're gonna have beetle problems, and then you got to fight them.
Hey, I got a comment from Michael Buck who says about the BVAC. I'm waiting for somebody to come up with a laser like they do with the recycling when they have these little air lasers and they shoot the little pieces in the different bins and separate it. And have a laser right at the front entrance and it just looks for the mites and zaps them off as they come in.
Like it just zaps just that specific color.
Yeah, it looks for the mites, and the computer just zaps the mites off as they come through the door.
So what I noticed, what Michael Buck is saying, making the wax foundation. I've seen a lot of those silicone molds, and it does look like they're putting a ton of wax on there just to make foundation, which then you put it into the frame, and then I guess you gotta like wire. What do you do with the wire? You gotta like put some electric to it and burn it in there, and then.
Yep.
Meanwhile, I'm putting empty ass frames into hives with just a little piece of plastic at the top, and then bees are just filling it up like no problem. And they're making natural size comb perfect for free. And any extra wax I have, it's in blocks. Like I could just build an igloo out of it. But everybody got to do it their own way, I guess. I don't know.
Well, my heart breaking was I did all that wax stuff one year, put it in the frames, and they sucked it all out and robbed it. And then I had just a bunch of wires. And I was, for what purpose?
Okay, so Michael Buck saw the beetle vacuum and the bug farmer. I'm telling you, every year that I think that a new tool, like we're done with tools, like we're just done with them, like there's not gonna be anything else. Then now we got beetle vacuums. I've seen that. I saw he sent one to somebody. Who did he send one to? Maybe it was like I forget. He sent a beetle vacuum to somebody, some channel I was watching. Maybe it was 620 Dirt Rooster or somebody. Nah, I don't think so.
But he got hammered, did he?
No, I don't know. He sent it to somebody, and they started vacuuming them, and it's like, now what are we doing? Oh my god! First we got Apex Scamologics, then we're going to be putting strong microbials in there with an Apex tablet. We got beetle jails. You're going to have Apivar in there. Now you're going to have beetle blasters and beetle barns and beetle vacuum. Oh man, I don't use any of that shit, man. I just got a box with frames in it and bees in it. Oh yep. Michael Buck's right. It's Bruce's bees. Yep.
Rodney wants to send you one of those vacs. He thinks you need one.
That thing will be a doorstop.
So you don't have beetles?
A licensed solar wax melter. Yeah, I mean wax melter. That's. I can totally see having tools to help like make the processing of products easier. I love my wax melter. It's not a license. It's an old piece of shit. Brushy Mountain one.
Solar?
Yeah, it's a solar wax melter, but I'd like to get, a nice licensed one. Maybe I'll look at like what they call it, cartel.com and get one. But I think Lyson makes one that's not like wood. The one I have is made out of wood, so it's just all warped and falling apart.
From the heat?
And water. I left it out in the rain. It's out there now. It's out there with a foot of snow in it. But I'm talking about bee stuff. Like, God, when are we going to stop making new stuff?
Literally, so you don't do the pollen traps and the venom traps?
Nah, I mean, pollen trapping is old. They've been doing that for 100 years. The venom trapping, yeah, that's another thing that's not really like affecting the beekeeping part.
You got to get yourself one of these. You definitely need one of these, an eye wave for your hive.
Hell no, I ain't using that shit. It processes my cutout yeah.
Little brushes that create negative ions and they go into the air.
Yeah, that'll align your chakras and send your Saturn into Venus. So yeah, that's like Ronnie's saying. I do love the solar wax melter for all that junk comb for cutouts. It's perfect. All that crap, put that sucker in there. Perfect. It's free. You don't have to slave over your stove melting stuff and like possibly burn your house down. You just put it out in the sun. Boop, it's done.
It reminds me, I got to fix it. The fuse broke on the stupid I wave.
Yeah, so man, so you got an iWave. What do you got? You got a vaporizer. You got freaking. What do you got? Chicken water heaters in your hive. You got goddamn Apex Scamologics. You
Got the
got
aquarium
Mercury.
hive.
You got Mercury and retrograde over there. You got your chakras.
Got to get your glass aquarium hive. I love them.
I would like to have like a a nice big old observation window hive in my wall, but that's probably as far as I would go.
I've
Holy
heard that there's
crap!
a lot of maintenance trying to keep them from running out of room.
I wouldn't even care about that. I would just let them swarm. Ronnie says, "Is that how you fix HVAC units with the what do you call that thing? The Xeno Warrior print. What's that thing called again?
iWave.
Oh, iWave.
It creates negative ions, but it doesn't create the ozone. And it does create a little bit, but it's not the intense ozone that give you that irritant to your sinuses that ozone normally gives you. So
Okay,
what
Michael.
this negative ions does is cause the particles in your air to clump together, and because they're so heavy, they fall in the air, and then you can vacuum them up, so you're not breathing all that indoor air quality problems. So my thinking is, with all this California fires, maybe the honey will be tastier. I don't know.
So Michael Buck brings up the UBO. Spraying the UBO cologne on brood to see if the bees will clean out before they're kept. Yeah, I mean, hey, whatever. Like I said, they can do whatever they want, but I don't know why they don't just leave the damn bees alone and select the survivors. But they're trying to take shortcuts. It's all about shortcuts, efficiency, skipping steps.
Yeah, but how many
And
years are we going to wait for this survivor thing? It's been like 20 years now already, right?
what do you mean wait for it? What are you waiting for?
Waiting for a survivor, the colony that's going to survive and fix our problems.
They're already out there. They've been out there for a long time. Ape scam tablets. Look at him. Oh, I don't even know what he's going to get. All right, Bird Lady speaks. She's going to go get some reading and some prayer in before bed. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with me for so long. I know it's not easy. I'm telling you, there's supposedly a certain number of people in here. And it's got to be torture when you're used to all these other lines. I do like the small habito vacuum for a try. Heck, I started with the wand for you. Now I got the John O Vap. I don't do any of that shit. Everybody knows that. What do you got there?
It's not dark enough. It's supposed to make little sparks on your hands, but I got too much screen lights. You're supposed to see little sparks around your fingers, like little lightning strikes.
He said do some cutouts. And even Rodney says all the bees he catches are survivors. So they're out there. Like, I think what a lot of these people, the naysayers.
Oh shoot! I felt it. Feels like static in the side when you go to a room and somebody static shocks you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like needles all in your.
All right. Well, I won't do that. Some
it works.
For what? What is it doing? It's just
it makes
shocking.
negative ions. I'm putting it back in the hive. I wasn't sure if it was still working after I broke the wires. So now I'm putting it back in the hive, Bruce. See if it's any better for the bees.
All right. Well, I'll be here when you get back. We're gonna see Frank's gonna go up and smoke.
Yeah, what if it makes your hair stand up?
We're gonna see smoke coming out of your ears.
Does it make my hair stand up? Oh, you can hear it. Hear it?
No.
It's like little sparklies. Now my head hurts. It's like I just had a bunch of acupuncture in my head.
Well, hey, I'm gonna get rolling. I've been over 2 hours. I know this might be my longest live ever.
You're not
My eyes
gonna
are
go like
burning.
the other guy's 6 hours.
Yeah.
Uh,
No,
what
nobody
is
will
it?
watch that. Nobody's gonna watch that on a replay. I doubt anybody's gonna watch this. It went too long.
Yeah,
But
gun yard or what is it? Gun yard.
Gunsmoke, I don't know. Guns. I know who you're
Scooby-Doo.
talking about. I forget the name. Gun line, I think it is.
Gun line. Yeah, he went on for 6 hours.
Why?
The first time he ever went on live, he just
Yeah, they
happened to
don't
go
even
six.
talk about bees. Like none of those lives really talk about anything to do with beekeeping. It's a bunch of people who are brand new who don't really talk about bees that much. All they talk about is products and the shit going on at their house in their life. It's like a weird talking about their life.
Well,
But
if you want the iWave, come to my website. I don't even have it in there.
scam.com. No, but anyway,
Yeah, I
there's no
appreciate you being
reason to
on
talk
here,
about
Bruce, and keeping it all straight for
hours.
us.
Huh? All
And
right.
I'm gonna try your little short foundation. I want to try that because I run out of foundation and it's kind of expensive.
Yeah, it's totally unnecessary. Like, as you start to just peel things, well, see, you do the opposite of me. Like, for me, I have my whole shit so streamlined that there's like nothing. I use almost no equipment. Where you're like you're like add which if it's fun to you to just keep adding like anti ozone layers in your hive and like heaters and stuff and weird. I mean, that's fine, but I'm going the other way. I'm not trying to add stuff. You got
If I had your yard of 100 hives, I would have 10 insulated, 10 Apis biologics, 10 do nothing, 10, and try 10 nukes, all 5 frame nukes, and just see which one's better.
yeah, okay. I just have 100 that I'm not never gonna have 100 again. 60, 70 of just everyone is different, and I just have fun with all of them.
Do you do equalization between the hives to kind of move frames
No,
around?
no, but it's not a bad idea. Once I can get down to a normal, it's not really realistic for me when I have 10 frame, 8 frame, 5 frame colonies and it's just of deep and mediums and shallows. It's just not realistic for me. It would be,
Because
but
my problem
if I
is
get down to 20 or something, that's easy.
every time I manipulate a hive, I think I'm messing up the proof of whether this concept works or not. Like my glass hive, if I add frames to it because they're suffering, like now they've cheated because if they survive, that's because I helped them with some other group.
No.
And
No,
so
no, equalizing is not a treatment. Like if we want to talk about, well, first let me address what Michael Buck is saying. He's talking about he watched Fat Bee Man and then the Skinny Bee Man, which I like the Skinny Bee Man. Even though he's a treater, I do like the Skinny Bee Man. He's always been pretty good at informational being. He's very. I like his whole style and everything they do, even though he's a treater. So I do like Skinny Bee Man. He had to put out a video for like a couple years, and then he just popped on with one or two videos. I don't know what they were about. I think I just didn't have time to watch them all, but he a lot of the channels that used to be really good are mostly just like please become a member, and then you get to watch like my videos early or some shit. And you get like a cool emoji you can put next to your name. Like, they're all becoming the same thing. So I don't know, but that's what all YouTube is happening.
it's worse over there at that TikTok. You got to give me a rose. Thank you for the rose. Thank you for the rose.
Yeah. TikTok is a mess. I mostly do everything on Facebook now because I have really, really good engagement and they pay good and I can just do what I want. I like Facebook, but as far as equalizing, let's say you just have colonies that are at different development levels. Like maybe you did a cutout a month ago that's not quite as caught up as a swarm that you caught in April. You could equalize them too. That's not a treatment. You're just making them. You're just catching them both up to each other. You're cutting one back and giving a boost to the other, so that they're easier to deal with. That's not a treatment. You didn't help the bees. If one of the queens still has shitty genetics, they're gonna die. It doesn't matter how well you help them. They're gonna die in the wintertime.
How do you know then if you're helping them out or manipulating them by adding frames and stuff? How do you know whether that hive is actually doing good because you're cheating them and you can't really see what they're really capable of doing?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done equalizing, so I don't know. It
Oh,
would
okay.
just be, but let's say if I had just a small number of colonies, I had 4. If the one that's really like behind, it's clear why it's behind, then yeah, I wouldn't want to help that one. I would just want to let that one die. But if it's because of circumstances, like it's a late removal, or you moved them, or they got knocked, something that just set them back, like they went queenless, or something that's more has to do with the management that set them back. There's nothing wrong with equalizing them. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't take like my favorite colonies. I wouldn't rob them of brood to give to some swarm that I caught that just is not doing any good and is possibly from some junk genetics. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that's what I did all summer long. As I took from my best hive, kept stealing from them, and helping out these other splits that I made, and just
yeah, you were moving stuff all over the place, all kind of weird ways. I mean, I'm
yeah,
just
I was
telling you,
trying
that's
to
what
keep
I
these
saw.
small clusters going, and then like you saw this today, you saw that one on the top of the glass hive. All the efforts, it all went down the pot. Like you said, it's not worth the trouble.
Yeah, it's the one saying of beekeeping that I would agree with is to take your losses like before winter. Like, and even I break that rule all the time, like putting fondant on those 3 stupid nukes. I should have just probably shook them out or just combined them, but I wanted to see what they would do.
And I've heard they go to other hives. I've never really seen that. When you shake them out. When you shake them out, they go to other colonies?
Yep. Yeah. I mean, a bunch are going to come right back to the spot, and they'll hang out there for a little while, but eventually they're going to just crawl or walk or fly into something close by. Depending on what time of the year, a bunch of them might die, might get killed, but it's better than just letting one sit there that isn't going to do anything.
Because I've seen them sometimes cluster like on the outside of a box and freeze to death overnight.
Yeah, and then when Michael Buck's saying you lost hives from stupid stuff, I mean, it's not really stupid. You learn the lesson. I still do really dumb stuff, obviously, and everything you do, you're just gonna learn from it. You just probably won't do it the same way again. All right, now I really got to get out of here. So everybody, thanks again for hanging out. Thanks, Frank, for coming on for a little while.
Appreciate you, Bruce, sticking up for us.
All right, I'm going to kick you out of here, and then I will say bye to everyone. How do I? There we go. Bloop. All right, take it easy. Frank and everybody else, see you, Michael Buck, Pete, Rodney, Bird Lady. Who else is in here? That's about everybody. And have a good one. Take care.